That's good. Double thumbs up. Love it. Okay. Get some music, put your little mute button on, grab your mat, grab your gear, grab your pets. Thank you. And then we're going to have a seat whenever you're ready. I'm going to make sure my screen is correct. Oh, Susan Burt. Nicely done. I've already kicked my pets out, so thank you for the cat photo. Wonderful.
He's sitting in the comfy chair.
Comfy chair.
And he's going to watch with his usual jaundiced eye.
Love that. Okay. So sweet. Yes. All right, friends. So let's come to a seat. You are always, always, always welcome to sit on something. If you prefer, you can sit on a chair. You can sit with your back up against the wall. If that is more comfortable, you're welcome to sit on your yoga blocks or just bring that butt right down to your yoga mat. Finding a posture that is comfortable for you. And then find all of those wiggly movements that we always find to get ourselves started here. Rolling of the shoulders, the neck, the knees back and forth, the hips, whatever it is that you need. To settle in physically, remind yourself that it is yoga time. Settling the body. I have a very chill practice on tap for today. I hope that is good for the collective chill. Yes, good. So if you need any additional props for your Shavasana later, you can get them now or you can get them later, whatever you need. I'll make my way back to my mat here in just a couple of seconds as we get ourselves set up in our seated posture here. Continuing to make any of those movements you need to make, neck, shoulders, hips, knees, any of that stuff. And then when you're ready to really, really, really settle in, root down firmly through those sit bones, create that nice, tall, dignified spine. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. If you are new to the Zoom yoga, it is very helpful to set yourself up with speaker view or pin my video to make my practice larger on your screen, particularly when we have a lot of little tiles here. It's much easier to see. I will head back to my mat here. See my yoga mat, yes. So regardless of what you are seated on, whether you're sitting on a chair, sitting on a block, or sitting right on your yoga mat, root those sit bones down firmly. You can even wiggle those sit bones down to ground yourself on your mat here. Tall, dignified spine, extending the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And just allowing those arms to relax either in your lap, on your thighs, or on your knees. Allow those shoulders to relax, releasing tension through the upper body. As we settle in, you're welcome to blink your eyes closed if you like to. And then we'll just bring ourselves into some stillness here, allowing ourselves to settle. Drawing perhaps an intention for today's practice to your mind's eye. If you don't have an intention, that's quite all right. Just allow yourself to focus on the present moment and focus on your breath. We'll maintain this posture for a few more moments here, just physically settling in. And then I invite you, as you are ready, to shift your focus over to your breath. You're always welcome to draw a hand to your belly, maybe even a hand to your chest to really dial into that breath, maintaining a nice, tall, dignified spine. Take a little deeper inhale here. And a full, complete exhale. As we inhale, think about becoming buoyant through the rib cage, so expansive, front, back, and sides of those ribs. As we exhale, settle, release, and let it go. Let's take 3 more big rounds of breath, just like that, each one a little bit deeper. One more big breath, my friends. Here we are. Let's inhale. Let's exhale. And then if you have a hand on your chest and a hand on your belly, release those hands to the thighs. Let's roll those shoulders back. Allow your chest to come forward. We're not going to change the gaze yet. Just keep looking forward. Take a big breath in, broad through the front of the shoulders. As we exhale, roll the shoulders forward, tuck in your belly. Now we can look down. As we inhale, roll those shoulders back. Get nice and broad through the chest in front of the shoulders here. As we exhale, round those shoulders forward, tuck in your belly. One more time, seated cow pose. Roll those shoulders back, open up the chest, full inhale. As we exhale, round the shoulders forward, tuck in your belly, gaze down at your thighs. Come on back to our neutral spine. Set those shoulder blades back and down again on your next inhale. Expand those arms up and overhead. Press your palms together. As we exhale, thumbs to heart center. Let's take a little side bend. Here we are. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, very gentle side bend to the right. So keep our sit bones rooted. Press your palms together. If you like to grab the wrist, you're welcome to grab your wrist. Chest stays fully open here. We don't want to collapse down towards the mat. Take one more inhale. Enjoy your exhale. And then as we inhale, come on back to center, those palms pressed together. You can look a little bit up this time if you want to. As we exhale, take our side bend to the left. You can keep those palms pressed together. If you like to grab the wrist, you're welcome to do that. Let's keep that chest nice and open. Don't collapse those shoulders down. Sit bones are rooted. One more inhale. And our exhale. And then inhale, come on back to center, press those palms together. As we exhale, we're going to cactus the arms here, bending 90 degrees at the elbows. Send the backs of your hands towards the wall behind you, getting nice and broad through the chest and the front of the shoulders. Sit bones are still rooted. If it feels safe for you to look up, you are welcome to do so. One more inhale. And your exhale. And then we'll release those arms to the ceiling. Inhale, reach up, reach up, reach up. Exhaling. Thumbs to heart center. Beautiful. Let's make our way over to our tabletop position, my friends, continuing our nice juicy warm up here. Spread your fingers really wide here. We root down through the pads of the fingers and all four corners of the palms. Index fingers parallel to each other. If you have tenderness in the front of your knees, you are welcome to place a blanket under those knees. Anytime we have those kneecaps down on the yoga mat here. Shoulders are stacked over those wrists. Knees are hip distance apart, toes tucked or untucked, you pick. Inhale to drop your belly. Lift your gaze, lift your tailbone. Here is your cow pose. As you exhale, push the mat away. Dome the upper back, tuck your belly and your belly button way in here. Inhale, belly relaxes towards the floor. Gaze lifts, tailbone lifts. As we exhale, push the mat away, draw that belly button way in, tuck your tailbone. One more time, inhale, belly towards the floor, gaze lifts, tailbone lifts. Exhaling as we push the mat away, draw that belly button in, tuck your tailbone. Come on back to our neutral spine here, my friends. Inhale, that right leg straight behind you. Keep your shoulders stacked over your wrists. As we exhale, we're going to place the right foot to the outside of the left. Think about getting into a nice long stretch on the right side of the body here. Shoulders stay square and stacked. You can take that right foot as far as you want to away or keep it close to the mat. That's up to you. And then we'll take one more big inhale here. And a full exhale. And then we'll inhale to square off. That right foot reaches behind us. As we exhale, draw your right knee in towards your chest. Push the mat away like our cat pose that we just did. Inhale, extend that right leg straight behind you. Hips and shoulders square and level. Exhale, draw your knee in towards your chest. Push the mat away. One more time. Inhale, reach that leg behind you. And exhale, knee to chest here. Pause right here, my friends. Shoulders stay over those wrists. Really push the mat away. Spread those shoulder blades way apart here. And then as we inhale, that leg reaches behind us. We square everything off. Exhaling back to our tabletop position here. Let's do another cat-cow to reset. Relax the belly towards the floor. Lift the gaze, lift the tailbone. Exhale, pushing the mat away. Dome the upper back, tucking your belly button. Come on back to our neutral spine here. Take a breath in to extend the left leg straight behind you. Flex that foot. As you exhale, place your left foot to the outside of your right foot. It can be as far away from your mat as you want or close. Shoulders stay stacked. Nice long left side of the body here. Take a full inhale. And a big exhale. And then as we inhale here, extend that left leg straight behind you, square off hips and shoulders. As we exhale, draw your left knee in towards your chest, push the mat away, spread those shoulder blades apart. As we inhale, extend that left leg straight behind you. Exhale, knee into chest. Inhale, that left leg reaches behind you. Last time, exhale, knee to chest, pause right here, everybody. Push the mat away, dome the upper back, really spread those shoulder blades apart, tuck in that belly. And then on your next inhale, extend that left leg straight behind you, square off hips and shoulders. Exhale, back to tabletop, last cat-cow here together, everyone. Inhale, relax the belly towards the floor, gaze lifts, tailbone lifts. And exhale, pushing the mat away. Coming back to our neutral spine right here, let's set those knees a few inches behind those hips. Restack shoulders over the wrists, fingers are still spread wide. Tuck your toes under, take a full inhale. And then as we exhale, let's send those hips to the sky for our very first downward facing dog today. Feel free to place a big bend in those knees here. Send those sit bones up as high as you can. Press your chest towards your thighs. Find your breath. 3 breaths here. One more breath, everybody. Let's inhale. And exhale. Then we're going to send those hips a little higher. You can come to your tippy toes, straighten those knees, and then take our little baby steps here towards the top of the mat. Take your time getting there. There's no rush to get up here. And then you can put as much of a bend in your knees as you want to in our forward fold. Equal pressure through the heels and the ball of the foot here. We don't want to lean back too far, and you can always place your hands on blocks if that feels good. Hands to shins or blocks. Here's our halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale to fold down. Let's do that twice more here. Hands to shins or onto blocks. Inhale. Exhaling to fold down. One more time. Hands to shins or up on those blocks. And exhale, folding right down. Pressing through both feet, my friends. Here we go. Let's press that torso all the way up to standing. Expand and get tall. Reach those arms up and overhead. Full inhale. Exhaling, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. We're going to take a lot of flow right from the top of the mat here, everybody. Here we go. Inhale, arms up and overhead. As we exhale, fold forward, bend those knees as much as you want to here. Hands drop to shins. Inhale to our neutral spine, halfway lift. As we exhale, plant those hands, take your left leg to the back of the mat. Drop your left knee down. Right foot stays forward, low leg lunge on the right side. Round 1 here, my friends, check your alignment. Right knee's on top of your right ankle. Square off those hips here. Back toes can stay tucked under like mine are, or you can untuck them if that feels better. If you need a blanket under this back knee, don't be shy. You're welcome to pad that up here. And let's find that breath. 3 breaths, here we are. Finding one more full inhale, low leg lunge. As we exhale, drop those hands to frame that front foot. The back knee will lift, and then we'll step our left foot forward to meet our right. Forward fold at the top of the mat, much as a bend in those knees as you want. We'll take the other side. Inhale, halfway lift, neutral spine. Exhale, drop those hands down. Take your right leg to the back of the mat. Coming into low leg lunge. On the left side, left knee's on top of that left ankle here. Square off those hips. Draw that belly button in. Back toe tucked under or untucked, your pick. 3 breaths, here we are. One more, let's inhale. As we exhale, frame that front foot, back knee will lift, and then we'll step forward, right foot meets left at the top of the mat. Hands to shins. Inhale, neutral spine, halfway lift. Exhaling to fold down. Root firmly through both feet, my friends. Draw that torso all the way up. Reach those arms up and overhead. Big inhale. Exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose. Tadasana, we're gonna add on to that flow. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhaling to fold forward. Hands come to shins, neutral spine. Here's our halfway lift. As we exhale, drop those hands down, take your left leg to the back of the mat. Right foot stays forward, low leg lunge round 2, and we'll add on to this. So find your alignment, find those nice square hips, plug those shoulder blades in, draw that right femur into the hip. Here we are, 3 breaths. One more inhale, stay in those legs. As we exhale, upright twist to the right. Torso stays tall here. Shoulders are over the hips. Keep those legs, everybody. Full breath in. And a breath out. Big inhale right here. As we exhale, drop those left fingers down, right fingers to the sky. We stay in our twist with a little bit more support. 3 breaths. One more full inhale. And then as we exhale, unwind. Plant those hands, back knee lifts. Left foot steps forward to meet your right. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Then we'll take the other side, hands to shins, neutral spine, halfway lift. As we exhale, plant those hands, right leg steps to the back of the mat. Drop that right knee down. Low leg lunge on the left side. Find your alignment. Do all the alignment checks you need to here to find your posture. 3 breaths. Take one more full inhale right here. As we exhale, upright twist to the left, stay in those legs. Shoulders are over those hips here. Crown of the head continues to reach towards the ceiling. One more inhale. As we exhale, right fingers drop down, left fingers to the sky. Here's our twist, stay in those legs. If your neck flexibility allows you to look up at that left thumb, you can, but don't feel like you have to if that's uncomfortable. Finding one more inhale in our twist here. As we exhale, both hands drop down, lift your back knee, stepping forward, right foot meets left at the top of the mat. And our forward fold, hands draw to shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Press through both feet to bring that torso all the way up. Expand those arms up and overhead. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose. Tadasana, we're gonna do one more flow from here. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, folding forward, come all the way down. Hands draw to shins. Inhale for our neutral spine, halfway lift. As we exhale, drop those hands down, take your left leg to the back of the mat, low leg lunge. Last time, everybody on the right side. Here we are. Find your breath, settle in. We can square off those hips if you want to dig a little deeper into that right leg lunge here. You can shift a little bit more forward into that right thigh. Find one more breath. Let's inhale. As we exhale, drop those hands down. We're going to send our hips back to straighten that right leg here for the hamstring stretch. Lots of options here. If you want to sit down on a block, you can. You can also sit back on that left heel if that's comfortable, or you can keep those hips off that back heel. Completely up to you. Let's think about drawing that entire right leg into the right hip socket here. Really activating that right hamstring. You're welcome to keep your right foot flat or bring that right foot up. If you find it's more comfortable to draw both hands to the inside of that right leg, you can find this posture or you can frame that right leg, right? So it's up to you. Let's breathe. Take one more breath right here. Stay right here for your exhale. And then as we inhale, we'll make our way forward. Bend your right knee, frame your right foot, left knee lifts off the mat. As we exhale, left foot steps forward to meet the right. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Hands draw to shins, neutral spine, halfway lift. As we exhale, plant those hands, take your right leg to the back of the mat. Drop that knee down, low leg lunge. Last time on the left side, everybody, here we are. So once we square off those hips, if you want to dig a little deeper into this right thigh, you'll open up your left thigh. You'll open up your right hip flexor a little bit more here. Shoulder blades are down. Here we are, 3 breaths. One more full inhale. As we exhale, drop those hands down, send your hips back to straighten your left leg, coming into the hamstring opener on the left side. So your hips can stay up off that back heel. You can sit down on a block or on your right heel if you want to. That's totally up to you. Think about drawing your left femur bone into your left hip socket here. Really activate that left hamstring. Great place for blocks if you practice with them. And then you can keep your hands framed around this left leg if you want to, or take both hands to the inside of that left leg if that feels better. Continuing to work towards square pelvis here. 3 breaths. One more breath, my friends. Let's inhale. Stay right here for your exhale. And then we'll carefully make our way forward on our inhale. So you'll bend your left knee, plant your hands. As we exhale, that back knee lifts, right foot steps forward to meet the left. Forward fold up at the top of your mat. Hands come to shins, inhale, neutral spine, halfway lift. Exhaling to fold down. Press through both feet. Draw that torso all the way up. Expand those arms up and overhead. Reach and reach and reach, inhaling. Exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose. Tadasana, beautiful. Feet are hip distance apart here, hands to hips. Dropping into a modified chair pose to get those quads activated a little bit today. Hips are square. We can look down at those toes here. So we keep those knees behind those toes. Activate your belly button. You're welcome to keep your hands on your hips. Draw thumbs to heart center or reach your arms up if you want to. You don't have to work too hard today, my friends. That's all good. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. And then we'll press through both feet to stand all the way up. Expand those arms up and overhead. Here's our inhale. And then as we exhale, fold forward. We're going to come into our forward fold here, grabbing opposite elbows. Ragdoll pose. So you can place as much of a bend in those knees as you want, let your belly rest on your thighs, then grab those elbows. And then if you want to get into those hamstrings more, make sure we have equal pressure, heels and balls of the feet here, so we're not leaning back too far. You can start to drop your head a little bit heavier and start to straighten those knees. Straight knees here is never, ever, ever required. That's going to be up to you and how you feel. Great place for blocks too here, my friends. If you practice with blocks, you can place your hands on your blocks, giving you a little bit more space to work your forward fold. 2 more big breaths. One more breath. Here we go. And then we'll release the elbows. Hands come to shins, neutral spine, halfway lift. And then as we exhale, this time we're going to make our way all the way back to find downward facing dog. So take your time getting there. Press your chest towards your thighs. Sit bones up as high as you can take them here. Maybe your heels are off the mat. That's great. Maybe your heels are down on the mat. Also great. Keep pressing chest towards thighs. 2 more big breaths. One more breath. Here we are. Let's inhale. Let's exhale. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale that right leg up towards the ceiling here. Find nice square hips. Flex your right foot. As we exhale, carefully step that right foot between the hands. Back knee stays elevated here. Let's find our first full-size crescent lunge on the right side. Settle in here. Right knee's on top of the right ankle here. Press through the ball of the back foot. If you have a bend in your back knee, that's good. If you want to straighten that back knee, also good. You're going to send your hamstring up towards the wall behind you. Activate your belly button, draw it in. Right femur bone draws in, fingertips up. Let's find our breath here. One more breath, everybody. Let's inhale. As we exhale, we're going to cactus those arms. Take those elbows to 90 degrees. Send the backs of your hands towards the wall behind you. Think about opening up your chest. Open your heart up towards the sky. If you would like to look up, you can, but you do not have to. Take this as far as you'd like to as we open up the front side of the body. One more breath in. Enjoy your breath out. And then we'll inhale to reach those arms all the way up. Stay in those legs. Exhale to frame that front foot. We'll make our way back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Here we are. A big breath in. And a big breath out. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale that left leg up towards the ceiling here. Flex your left foot, square your hips. Exhale to step that left foot forward. Back knee stays lifted. Making our way towards crescent lunge on the left side. Work through all that alignment, everybody. Left knee is on top of that left ankle. If you have a bend in your back knee, that's okay. Think about sending that hamstring up and back here. Hips are square. Fingertips reach up. Crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling. 3 breaths. Taking one more inhale, get tall through that torso. And then as we exhale, cactus those arms. Let's send that heart up towards the sky again, everybody. Stay strong in those legs. You can turn this into a back bend if you have the flexibility, but you do not have to do that. Just think about sending the back of the hands towards the wall behind you. 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then we'll inhale to reach up, stay in those legs. Exhale to frame that front foot, making our way back to downward facing dog. Let's find a breath in here. And a breath out. And then we'll all inhale those knees down to the mat, untuck your toes. Exhale, hips to heels, child's pose. Let's take 3 big breaths here. You can walk your fingertips towards the top of the mat. Let your belly, your chest, your forehead come down as far as you can. And then on your next inhale, gently crawling your way through a tabletop position. Stack those shoulders over the wrists. You might have to adjust your knees back to hip distance. That's okay. Tuck your toes, inhale. Exhale, hips to sky, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. Then when you're ready, we'll send our hips a little higher. You can walk, step, or hop up to the top of the mat here, your choice. Forward fold with as much of a bend in your knees as you want once you come up here. And then hands to shins or blocks. Inhale, neutral spine. Here we are. Exhale, fold down. Press through both feet. Bring that torso all the way up. Expand those arms up and overhead. Get as tall as you can. Inhale. Exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose. Tadasana. We're going to do one more modified chair pose, everybody. Feet are hip distance apart, hands on hips. Let's take those hips back and down here. You can see your toes as you look down. Inner thighs are engaged, even though those knees are apart from each other here. It's going to help your lower back. Hips are square, and then again, hands can stay on hips. Thumbs can come to heart center. You can sweep those arms up if you'd like to. Let's find that breath. One more, let's inhale. And exhale. Press firmly through those feet as we stand all the way up. Reach those arms up and overhead. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhaling to fold forward, coming all the way down, grabbing opposite elbows, ragdoll pose again. So you can grab your blocks again if you want to. You can grab opposite elbows in ragdoll like we did before. Head is heavy. If you want to get a little deeper here, my friends, first 2 fingers around that big toe, yogi toe lock posture.
Again, you can always keep a bend in your knees here. Head is heavy. Find your breath. One more breath. Let's inhale. Let's exhale. And then we're going to release those hands wherever we have them. Put as much of a bend in your knees as you need to get your hands flat on the ground. So my hands are just about 3 inches in front of my big toes here. That's about as much space as you need. If you would like hands on blocks, you can. We're going to turn this into a twist here. So we're going to take our right hand to our right hip. Keep the bend in your knees here. Left hand, fingertips are great too. Block is great. If you can keep that left hand flat, that's even better. So as we press through that left hand, we're going to start to open the torso up to the right, taking our first twist here. We'll start to straighten that right knee, taking a deeper bend into the left knee, keeping both heels planted on the ground here. So from here, your right hand can stay on your hip, or you can take that right arm up and overhead. Let's find your breath. Breath into that right hip, your right glute, your right hamstring, maybe even your low back and your belly. One more breath, my friends, stay here. And then on your next inhale, unwind. Come on back to center, bend those knees, hands down on the mat again. And then we'll switch sides. Left hand to left hip. Your right hand can be flat, fingertips or a block. If you can get that hand flat, that's the best place to be here. Nice, good support. And then as we start to open up to the left, you'll start to straighten your left knee, putting a deeper bend in your right knee. Press through that right hand on the block or the floor. As you open the torso up to the left, you're welcome to draw that left arm up if you want to, but you don't have to. Send your breath into your left butt cheek, your left outer thigh, your left hamstring, maybe even your low back and your belly. Find your breath again. Here we are. One more full inhale. Find a full exhale. And then we'll gently unwind ourselves. Come on back to center. Bend those knees here. If you want to bend and straighten a little bit, play around with those hamstrings a little bit, you can. And then when you're ready, draw hands to shins. Place as much of a bend in those knees as you want, everybody. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale to plant those hands. Let's take ourselves back to downward facing dog. Pedal ourselves out to see how everything feels. Take 3 breaths here. One more breath. Let's inhale. And exhale. Then we'll inhale that right leg up towards the ceiling here. Nice square hips. As we exhale, step your right foot forward. We're going to draw our left foot about halfway forward, coming into pyramid pose. We're going to stick with our hamstring theme here for another round. So both feet are nice and flat. Right toe points forward. Left toes point out slightly here. Your left hip is going to want to open up to the left. Your hamstrings and your hips are much warmer now. You should be able to work towards square hips a little bit easier. You're welcome to stay on fingertips. If you practice with blocks, this is a beautiful place to practice with blocks. Square off that, or excuse me, frame that right foot if you have blocks. And then we also want to think about equal pressure through both feet. So you don't want all your body weight on your right foot here. You want weight through both feet. Breathe into your right hamstring, your right outer hip socket. Two more breaths, my friends. Here we are. One more breath. And then we're going to turn this into lizard lunge. So we're going to place both hands on the inside of the right foot here. Take your left leg all the way to the back of the mat. Drop your left knee down and then walk your right foot out to the width of the mat. So we have space, even more space between those feet. Plant that right foot. Right foot is nice and flat. Engage your right inner thigh here. Try to level off your hips here. It's a little bit safer. You can stay up on your hands, or if you want to drop down to your forearms, you're welcome to do that today. You can also place your hands on blocks if you need a little bit more space. And of course, if you want to activate this pose a little bit more, take that back knee off the mat. Totally up to you. Let's find that breath again, my friends. Here we are. 3 big breaths, lizard lunge. One more breath. Let's inhale. Let's exhale. And then we're going to heel toe that right foot in a little bit so that you can frame your right foot. Lift your back knee off the mat if it's down on the ground. And then on an exhale, step yourself back to downward facing dog. Pedal everything out. See how everything feels. Take a big breath in. Full breath out. And then when you're ready, inhale that left leg up towards the ceiling. We've got those nice square hips here. As we exhale, step that left foot forward, and then we're going to take our right foot about halfway forward, closing off the distance between those feet. Pyramid pose here on the left side. Left toes point forward, right toes are out slightly here. Your right hip is going to want to pop up. Let's work on squaring those hips off. Practice with blocks, frame that left foot. That's totally up to you. Again, equal pressure through both feet, so we don't want all of our body weight on our left foot here. Equal pressure both feet. And then work that forward fold towards that left leg a little bit if you can. Find our breath. And then we'll turn this from right here, we'll turn this into lizard lunge. So let's take both hands to the inside of that left foot here. Take your right leg all the way to the back of the mat. Drop that right knee down and then walk that left foot out a little bit. Give yourself a little bit more space here. Left foot is nice and flat. Engage your left inner thigh here. So we're not going to take that left knee away. So engage the inner thigh. Work on keeping those hips level here. And then of course you can keep your back knee down. You can lift that back knee up. You're welcome down to forearms as well if you want to. Let's take our 3 breaths here. One more breath, my dear friends. Let's inhale. And exhale. If you're on your forearms, come on back up to those hands. Gently heel toe that left foot in a little bit. Lift your back knee if it's on the mat. And then on an exhale, we'll step ourselves back to downward facing dog. Let's pedal everything out. Take a big inhale. And a full exhale. Then we're going to inhale ourselves forward to a high plank. You can drop your knees down, come all the way down to your belly, and then find your forearms parallel to each other on the mat, setting ourselves up for Sphinx pose here. So legs are nice and long, legs parallel to each other here. Your shoulders should be stacked directly on top of your elbows. I like to keep my hands nice and flat and planted on the ground, just like down dog. Forearms parallel to each other. And then think about setting your pelvis heavy into the mat here. Really activate that pelvis down into the ground. Shoulder blades draw together. And then you can gaze forward if that feels okay. We don't want to look up here. That's too much pressure on the neck. If you need to look down in between your thumbs, you can do that. Or you can gaze forward. If you want to sweep up into a little bit more of a cobra pose, expand that Sphinx to straighten the elbows, you're welcome to do so. If that does not feel good on your lower back, you can drop right back down. Keeping that gaze forward or the gaze between the thumbs. Pelvis is heavy for all of us here. Fingers spread wide. Shoulder blades activate together here. Open up that chest. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath.
And then we're going to carefully lower all the way down. You can take your your forehead or a cheek down to the mat. And then we're going to bend those knees, windshield wiper feet side to side here. And then whenever you're ready, we'll shift ourselves into child's pose. So I like to take my legs long first, press through my hands, and then send my hips back towards my heels. Child's pose for 3 breaths. Walk those fingertips as far as you can forward, belly, chest, and forehead towards the ground. And then this time to shift out of that, we're going to press through those hands to bring that torso up. So we're kind of sitting on our heels here. And then however you want to get there, we're going to extend those legs forward. So I just like to shift onto one hip, extend those legs around, toes up towards the sky, legs parallel to each other. Sit bones are rooted firmly on the mat here. Draw that belly button in, shoulder blades are down. Let's reach those arms up. As we exhale, take your forward fold. So we want to hip hinge here. So it's not just a roll forward, right? Expand and extend from your hips to find your fold. Let's take 3 breaths here. One more breath, everybody. Let's inhale. And exhale. And then we'll gently draw that torso all the way up here. We're going to keep that left leg nice and long, bend that right knee. So lots of options today. We're going to turn this into a twist, okay? So you can keep your right foot to the inside of your left thigh, or you can transfer it to the outside of your left thigh. I'm just going to stay here because this is how I ended up, but both are great postures to find yourself in. Torso super tall. Keep this left leg activated so those left toes stay pointed up. Right hand finds the mat just behind your hips here. Inhaling the left arm up. And then as we exhale with our twist, your left elbow can hug onto your knee, or you can take the tricep to the thigh. Use your right hand to sort of gate that torso around. Find your breath. And then on your next inhale, we'll come through center, gentle counter twist over to the left. And then as we exhale, come on back to center. You can extend that right leg long, shaking those legs out here. And then we'll take it to the other side. So keep that right leg nice and long, bend your left knee. So again, we'll work through the same options here. Left foot can stay on the inside of that right thigh, or you can take it to the outside, completely up to you. Let's keep this right leg nice and activated here. It's going to be better for the lower back to keep this right leg active. Left hand finds the floor just behind your left hip. We'll inhale the right arm up and over. As we exhale, right elbow can hug onto that knee, or you can take tricep to thigh, completely up to you. Use your left hand to work that rotation a little bit more. Think rib cage around spine here. This is not generated from the lower back. This is a thoracic rotation here. Find your breath. And then on your next inhale, we'll take a gentle counter twist over to the right side here. And then as we exhale, come on back to center, extend both legs long. We're going to shake those legs out. And then whenever you feel ready, we'll bend both knees, take your hands or your forearms around your shins, take a full inhale. As we exhale, let's make our way all the way onto our backs. Scoot down a little for you here. As always, we can make those circles with those knees if you like to do that.
And then we'll make our way back to center here. Plant those feet up the out hip distance apart here. Arms can come way out to the side or up and overhead. Let's take a full inhale. As we exhale, gently let those knees fall over to the right. Make any adjustments with those legs that you'd like to for your twist here. Try to keep your shoulder blades down on the mat. Reset our breathing a little bit here. Full inhales and complete exhales. 2 more breaths. One more big breath in. Enjoy your breath out. Keep those shoulder blades down. Draw your knees back to center. Here's our inhale. Exhale, gentle twist to the left. Let those knees fall to the left. Again, any adjustments with those legs that you need. Try to keep those shoulder blades down. Full inhales and complete exhales. 3 breaths. And then on your next inhale, we'll gently draw those knees back to center here. When you're ready, draw your knees in towards your chest, reach in between those thighs for toes, arches, ankles, or calves to find happy baby here. Tailbone stays nice and long. Create lots of space between the back of the calf and the back of the thigh. And you can rock side to side if that feels good for you. Take 3 breaths here. And when you feel ready, come on back to center. Draw your inner thighs together. Extend your heels up towards the ceiling. Hands on your belly or on your heart. If you practice with blocks and you want to place a block underneath those hips, you're welcome to do so here. Let's just take a moment in this inversion to reset. Find a full inhale. And a big exhale. If you like this posture, you're welcome to stay here. You're welcome to point and flex those feet. If you would like to take legs up the wall, you're welcome to do that. If there's other postures you would like to play around with to finish out your practice today, please feel free. We have a nice long Shavasana on tap here today. So take a few moments finding those postures that you like. If there's extra props you want for Shavasana, feel free to grab those. And then I invite you, when you feel ready, adding or removing any layers, adding or removing any cushioning or props that you would like for Shavasana today. If you'd like to take Shavasana in waterfall pose, legs up the wall, you're welcome to do so. Make sure those sit bones are all the way against the wall here if you come into waterfall pose. If you'd like to do Shavasana in a heart bench, block between the shoulder blades, block under the base of the skull, you're welcome to do that. Or come into full corpse pose, legs taking up as much space as you prefer. Arms can take up a lot of space as well. And then as you find your
final resting posture for today's practice. I invite you to take a full cleansing inhale all the way in. And a complete releasing and relaxing exhale all the way out, melting into the support of the earth beneath you, enjoying full Shavasana. Let's take a deep breath all the way in and a full breath all the way out. Before we make any physical movements, I invite you just to take notice of how your body feels here. Enjoying a few more moments of stillness as we do a brief body scan and just notice how the physical body feels. If you'd prefer to remain in stillness, I invite you to stay just where you are. But if you're ready for some physical movements, I invite you to wiggle those fingers and those toes. Roll the wrists and ankles. And rock your head side to side. If you feel ready to do so, expand those arms all the way overhead, getting as long as you can from your fingertips to your toes. And take a big breath all the way in. As you exhale, gently draw your knees in towards your chest, wrap your hands or your forearms around your shins, giving yourself a big hug here. Gently making your way over to your favorite side in a fetal position. And as always, we'll take a moment of pause in this posture, allowing ourselves to call to mind who in our lives we are grateful for. With a heart full of gratitude, I invite you to use both hands to press yourself up to a comfortable seat, drawing those thumbs together at heart center once you arrive. Eyes open or close, your choice, and we'll finish out our time together with one more big breath. Let's inhale. And exhale. The light inside of me loves and honors the light inside each of you. Namaste. Namaste and kittens and cats and puppies and rainbows and all the things, everyone. Thank you so very much. I hope you enjoyed. We'll take Monday off, but we'll reconvene next week, Wednesday and Friday. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Courtney.
Thanks, Courtney.
Love you all.
Thank
Great
you,
job.
Courtney. Thank you, Courtney.
I hope you loved it.